Have you ever wondered if a buckle on the front of your bag would completely change how you use the bag or if it wouldn't work at all? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Abby. I share all things luxury handbags, fashion, what's in my bag, and all that good stuff over on my channel. So today we are going to be talking about the Louis Vuitton Vintage Cartouchiere GM and MM. We're going to compare sizes, see what's in my bag at the end of the video, and talk a little bit more about the bag. If the buckle on the front deters use and maybe doesn't work, or if it does. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, and I would love for you to like and subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to connecting with you. So make sure you drop a comment below, introduce yourself, and let's go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, friends, so today I have the Louis Vuitton Vintage Cartouchiere GM and MM. This bag came in a mini size, it came in the PM, the MM, and the GM, but today we're going to be checking out the MM and the GM size. These two sizes are very similar. So I personally have used both of them, and I just want to talk a little bit about the bags, some of the differences, and if you stay tuned till the end of the video, we will go ahead and do a what's in my bag and kind of compare and contrast what fits in each of these bags and what might not fit in the other one. So let's go ahead and get started here. So first and foremost, this bag has a lovely thick vintage leather strap. This strap is a little bit different from how the Louis Vuitton straps are nowadays and how they're produced. I absolutely love that this is a thick buckle strap. It's so comfortable, easy to carry, and very durable. So as you can tell on both of these bags, they have a very similar builds. This is probably one of the closest similarities between an MM and a GM that I've found in their bags. So the straps are the same, adjustments, the same buckles on the sides, the same like little, what do we call them? Little clasps, same buckle on the front, the leather carries throughout on the bottom. You just have a lot of similarities on this bag. I do want to also say that I will leave in the comments or the description below those measurements for you so you get a better idea of what the actual size is with the height and width on these. But I would say also with the inside, we'll go ahead and check it out here and undo that buckle. The inside is probably pretty similar in depth on these two. This one, again, it is the GM, so it does have more space than this one, but I think your depth is probably still very similar. So as you can tell, you do have these these two compartments here. Both of them do have that. There's no internal pockets on this bag, but it has two separate compartments that I absolutely love. When I use this bag, what I generally do is I have like my, I don't need it all the time in the back, and then the things in the front, phone, keys, wallet, love doing that type of stuff. But like I said, we will get into the what's in my bag later. So the other thing on these bags to note is the biggest points of damage, if you're looking on the pre-love market, since it's a vintage piece, would be on this flap here. They tend to get a crack in this fold here and here. So make sure you check that out. I haven't seen it get too crazy wild with damage. Like these ones have a tiny little bit. I think this one does. Nope, this one might not have it. But some of them can get it in the flap here on the canvas. They can get it in the corners just from that use and opening, and the same with the top, like right here and here. So that is something to be aware of, to check out. I know over time, different environments can cause the canvas to dry out a little bit more too. So it's definitely something to check out on those. The other point of damage that tends to happen to check out when you're looking for one is this front buckle. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this today because it's a little bit different, I feel like, with this bag. So that's one area that it generally gets the dry cracking, the creasing, especially from constant buckling over the years. However, like I said, this leather is super thick, vintage Louis Vuitton leather. So this front buckle, per se, on this one that I've had, has been conditioned. It has cracks throughout it. However, this leather is so thick that a lot of times it doesn't go through the bottom. And if you catch it in time to be able to condition it and take care of it, it works out just fine. It is more of a cosmetic thing at that point on if you want it. It still has longevity to it. However, if you get one and you notice that the bottom has the cracks going down through the leather, or you can tell from the side that they're just really deep, that is the point where you actually have more strain on the bag and risk of the cracking spreading or that actually breaking off. So that is something to note, that that is super common on this bag to find, but it doesn't always happen. Most likely you'll get, like on this one, it has a lot of just the creasing from buckling back and forth, and that leather, over the years going back and forth on it. So that is something to note and look for. The other thing is like the leather spotting. This one has some like the watermarks throughout. Just, your general vachetta things over the years, and what to look for. The big thing on this bag, I know so many of you have asked about, and I've used this bag to try it out and see how I felt about it, because on some of the buckling bags, I just don't know if I love it. So on this one, what I've done is I've tried using them, and honestly, I thought I would hate it. I thought I would hate the buckle on the front. Years ago, there were multiple bags that I love the look of, but I couldn't get myself to purchase them because I was so concerned I would buy it and hate it. And honestly, on this bag, I don't hate it. So the thing that I've used this bag, and I love this as being my casual running around doing errands bag, because it just kind of has that casual look for your everyday. I love that the buckle, you can actually just kind of stick it in here, and you don't have to fully buckle it, put it through the loop down here on the bottom, and do the whole thing without losing privacy. So the big thing is I felt like I had to completely buckle the bag with being able to use it. And the thing that I found on this bag actually is that you can just leave it. You can leave it completely open like this, and you don't lose the privacy of your items. You don't feel like they're at risk of just, gaping open on a crossbody. Or, like I said, I like to just loop it through and be on my way. If you feel like you want that more security, or if you just like the look of the buckle, completely done, you could do that as well. But that is one way I found to get around it. One way I found to enjoy the buckle on this bag and the beauty of the design is to just kind of loop it through. So with that said, I've used this so much as my running around bag, my just on the go doing errands with the kids. I find that this strap, when I use this, it sits so comfortably, guys. This strap, I don't know how to explain it, except you almost have to just try it for yourself. It just fits different. It sits on your shoulder well. You don't feel like it's clunking around. It doesn't swing weird and awkward. It's so comfortable. I think they did such a good design with this, and I just absolutely love it. So if I had to pick a bag that I would say would be easy, take it to the kids' soccer game, run to the store, this would be a really good option. Now, with the size differences, to be honest, I go back and forth. I really like the for more of if I'm going to be doing errands and I just want a little bit lighter. The GM though, I do find the GM fits my items better. So when I have the GM, I feel like I can take exactly what I want to take and need in my bag. If I need that little extra, snack for the kids, or I need just a little bit more, I want to take some lip gloss, or I want to take my extra set of keys, just things like that. I feel like this one can hold a little bit better than the So if you're trying to decide between the two, I think the big option, the question to ask would be if you are one that your items would tend to be more condensed, or if you need a couple extra things. So we will do a what's in my bag to try to help you guys see kind of what fits in either one. If you stay tuned for that, I think that will really help you understand what I'm talking about with what fits in the bag. So this one is a smidge shorter. So for instance, one of my glasses cases just doesn't fit in this bag. It's a more structured sunglasses case. And so when I try to put it in this one, it just hits, let me show you guys, a little bit. It sits a little bit funny with the flaps. So if you have something that's just a smidge too tall, it won't even go down right. It'll sit like this. So that one case sits a little funny on it, even though it fits, the other ways, it just doesn't sit right. So if you have items that are taller, or you have, those things like I said, my glasses case, or if you have like a pouch that you want to put in there or something like that, it just sits kind of funny. As to where this one, you have that additional room, just that little bit can help if you tend to put those things in. So just that little bit, like I said, how it just sits over. This one has a little bit extra. So I would kind of just take note of what you want to put in there. But this one does do a lot of those items really well. And I really do have a hard time picking which one I like. But without further ado, let's check out the what's in my bag, give you an overview of the bag, a little bit better look of the inside. And we'll also talk about day code location, heat stamp on where to find those to have a third party authenticate. And let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions. I would love to help you decide if you're trying to find the or the GM. and which one you think would work better for you on what fits in your bag. So without further ado, let's check it out. All right, friends. So like I said, today we're checking out this beautiful Louis Vuitton Cartouchiere GM and MM, and I wanted to share with you what's in my bag, some more details on it, and we're going to find that heat stamp and date code in case you need a third party to authenticate for purchasing pre-loved. So let's go ahead and get into it. And I wanted to make a couple comments on here as well to you guys, just to explain a little bit better about what you're looking at. So first we have the GM that we're going to be checking out today. This one is what I would call fully packed. I don't like to ever like max out a bag to put any kind of strain on it. But this is what it looks like when it is full. This is the GM. We're going to take a look at it and what's inside, and then we will see what can fit in the MM. So as you can tell, it kind of has that little bit of where it comes out. This bag does tend to do that anyway. Like as you can tell right here, it kind of can smush. It just tends to bow out a little bit more there, just because the natural build of the bag. This one, the flap is a little bit pointed forward just because she's a vintage beauty, and that's just a little bit of the character on this one. So like I said before, the common places to look for signs of wear on the folding, the main stress areas of the bag, and so forth. So this is the one that I was talking about. Doesn't have too much of the cracking on here, but it has some of the creasing, which is super, super common, and just tends to happen on the bag. So we're going to go ahead and check out what's inside and what fits in here. Oop, apparently I tipped it too much. I made those fall forward. So if you tip it, all the way up, then you will do that. But like I said, it has the two compartments, which I absolutely love. I find this super functional in the bag. It doesn't have any of those like pockets or zipper components, but this works out really nice because I put all the items I need on the front, all the other stuff kind of in the back, which obviously like I find I need it because it's in the back. But this is easier to grab when you're out and about because the way the flap comes up, you can try and just grab it and go. So I do find that's how I like to pack this bag. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what's inside, and then we'll go ahead and cover heat stamp and date code, all that good stuff. So the first thing is my keys. It does take up more room this way when I have the fob out, but I like to stack things so I can get to them pretty easily. So that I have the glasses case, my phone is a larger size phone. I know everybody asks like what size phones can fit in and whatnot. As you can tell, it's bigger. So that is a larger one that can fit in there. We'll stay with the front here. We have the wallet and the 6 key holder. As you know, that's like my second set of keys. So I think that completes what's inside the front. But like I was saying with the front compartment on this one, this is the GM, the larger size. So it does have a little bit of this extra space here, as you can tell, just kind of how it sits in that curve, which allows you to put that stuff in. But like I said, it wasn't like putting straight on the bag. That's just how that side's built. And if you don't, it kind of will, can you tell? It kind of like dips in a little bit. Anyway, so that sits really, really nice. That's the front compartment. And then for the back, I have the Kleenexes, which apparently those aren't sticking together anymore on the gum. Let's see. Okay, we have a hair clip. I know it's kind of hard to see down there. It gets a little dark down there, but lip stuff, Tide pin. Scoot that over a little bit. And the last but not least, I have the Toiletry 15. So this one, see if I can show you guys how it fits in there. I have a good amount of space over, like all of this space is open. Then the Toiletry 15 takes over this side, and then you have a little space over it. So I really love that this bag can hold this, because I told you guys, like in so many videos, if you've been there, I use this all the time. So it's kind of like my catch-all. And I love that this bag can fit it, and it's still like a smallerish size. I don't want to say small crossbody, but it's a good size crossbody. But it's not super cumbersome, and that does fit in there. So well, let's go ahead and cover where to find that heat stamp and date code. So if you're buying on the pre-love market, you know, if you want it authenticated by a professional, you're going to need to find those things. They're going to ask you for them. So this is going to be where you find your heat stamp up at the top of the flap. Sometimes, since this was an 80s, 90s bag, they can be at a couple different locations. This model and the MM were both 90s production. And so the heat stamp is up here. You're your heat stamp could be down here on, the 80s. But on this one, the date code is down here in the pocket, like by the, I don't want to say pocket, but the second pouch right here. So that's actually, if you're looking at the bag this way, your date code is going to be right here on the inside. Now, one thing I do really want to note for you guys is a lot of times, just probably actually 50% of the time, your date code could be on either side of this little separator. I found that I feel like most of the 80s ones have it there. And then when you get to the 90s production, they're usually over here, but it could be either one. So make sure you check out those. And if you want that authenticated, go ahead and cover that. Now let's see what transitions from the GM size over to the MM. Let's grab that one real quick. All right. So I have the MM size here. Let's move the GM out of the way. I have the MM size here, and a couple things I wanted to share with you guys really quick before we start was just some of the, a little bit of the differences here. So as we're getting into the bag, the style, the structure, the separation, a lot of these things are the same. But one thing to note, as soon as you can, there we go, see the two compartments. One of the things I first noticed with this bag is it doesn't have that little bit of a lip out as to where the other one did. So you do lose a little bit of that space here. We'll talk more about that as we go ahead and fill it. But right now, I just wanted you to note that as we get started here, so you can see how it fills a little bit differently and kind of decide which one would work better for you. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and let's see. We'll start with the back compartment first. So I know on this one, I can't do my toiletry 15 pouch, which is kind of a bummer, but it technically, I'll show you guys. So it technically can fit in there, but I feel like I don't really get much else in there. When I put this in, it also pushes a little bit more on this compartment, allowing me less space up front and making it a little tighter. However, I have used it in the back. It's not that it doesn't fit. So it's just, I guess, personal preference. So technically it does fit. And if we wanted to pack it with that, you could still have like the Tide pin. Let's see. The gum, Kleenex, and hair clip. So technically, all the back things still fit the same, as you can see, but that it starts to bulge here into the front compartment. So as to where if I don't have that in there, I can fit more stuff in there. So let me show you real quick what I mean. So if I wanted to put my phone in the front compartment and my sunglasses, and we're getting really snug here, guys. My keys, I really I don't want to break my sunglasses. So that's not even gonna work. So let's see if we can turn it sideways. The other thing to note is on this one, where my sunglasses and phone come, I can do this case because it's smaller and shorter. My other case is just enough taller, big enough that when I go to close it, it actually sits super awkward. And it sits like this and it points out weird. And it's just it just bobbles. So this one fits really nice. I guess technically, guys, let's see. I'm shocked here. Okay, so the toiletry 15 and this, I honestly didn't think that would fit in with all the other things. So technically, what do we have left? We have the key pouch over there floating around. Yeah, that's really super duper full. Let's see what that looks like, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. We kind of have a brick now for it being packed. It's so stinking full right now, guys. Let's see. So you can make it on the first strap. You could. It sticks up a little bit. Like I said, that front compartment just doesn't have that same shape. So it seriously feels like a brick. I'm not even joking. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll show you what I would transition over and why I might use this bag opposed to the other one. So what I would do actually is I would start by, here, I'll move these out of the way for a second. I would start by cleaning some of this out, but I would not do the toiletry 15 pouch. So what I would do is keep that one aside. I would go ahead and do the Kleenex, the gum, the, Tide pen and lip stuff. Hair clip could go in there. And then let's pack the front. So that gives us a little bit more room. My 6 key holder, I would want to take that with me. So I'd put that one in the back. Now for the front of the bag, how this is going to be a little bit different. So I like to have my things super accessible and easy to grab and not having to struggle to get them or stack them in a way that's going to make me fumble around trying to get in my bag. So what I generally do is I like to line my phone up and my glasses. And then over here, I can have, sorry, I got the bag caught on me. The other things lined up like that. So then if I'm going to shut it, like you don't have that super awkward. And to give you a good idea, if you're super duper filling your bag, is where does the strap go? So obviously, like if you have nothing in it, you could get up here. I generally want to aim for like the middle. So if I'm on the very last strap, I know that it's probably getting to the point of being maxed out. Generally speaking, sometimes it's just because of the items you have in there, but with the weight and where the strap goes, that gives you a good idea. So this is what the bag looks like when it's full. It sits, oh, there we go. It sits a little bit different than the other one, just right there, but it's a more petite size. The buckle, I do really like the fact that you can buckle it or unbuckle it and this will still stay. Like I said, this is what it looks like when I carry it. So I don't actually loop that little piece in at the bottom. I leave mine undone like that. And then sometimes I'll stick it in, but I don't think I've ever, honestly, guys, I tried it a couple times, but I don't ever, well, there it is. Don't ever loop it in the little leather piece. I just keep it to the buckle. I might, if I'm going to be doing a lot of running around, I'll go ahead and loop it in right there. But other than that, I just leave it alone. So that's what it looks like full. A couple things I do want to talk to you guys about that I mentioned in the video earlier are the leather pieces and leather components. So this bag, friends, is so comfortable with this leather strap. It's so thick and just honestly different than today's Louis Vuitton straps. So I really love this. It's almost like a raw finish on one side, if you can tell. And then the other side has some water spots on this one, but is a smooth finish. So one of the things I also wanted to share with you is the front. So that buckle where I was telling you to really check out the leather to make sure it is something that you can treat with the conditioner. What I'm talking about, friends, is definitely, first of all, just at your own discretion. I don't want to recommend something and, harm your bag. But what I do is I don't ever want to condition a bag that's had too deep of cracks. So if you get a bag that has lots of cracking and damage and dry cracking, and then you condition it, it's going to expand those cracks and really just make them more prominent and potentially just really cause some damage to your bag. So what I had done on this one was I purchased this one pre-loved. I really love the deep patina on these bags, but this one did have some dry cracking. Now, a few things that I like to check out prior to conditioning them is the cracking. So this one actually did not have deep dry cracking. I was really evaluating the top of the strap, the side to show you how deep the cracking was, and then the bottom. Because if your cracking's all the way through, guys, you do not want to just condition that and have it, just kind of fall apart on you. So that was something I did. Now, you have to know that if you are conditioning dry cracking, what you're doing is you're adding that moisture back to the leather. It can expand some more, relax more. And so you have to know that you're going to be experiencing more visual signs of dry cracking. So for instance, this one had pretty shallow dry cracking, and I knew that it was going to show more visual signs of dry cracking. However, with the minimal dry cracking that I had with the depth of it, I was able to actually add longevity to this bag. But like I said, you can definitely tell it has it. But the big things to note are, especially with these ones, because it's so prominent on the buckles, but the leather is so thick that if you examine it properly, you may be able to actually add some life to your bag instead of deducting it. So on this one, I was really careful to make sure that there was absolutely no dry cracking all the way through, that it didn't look like it was super deep on the thing. It's on the actual strap itself. And I really like to pay attention to that. So another thing on this bag I wanted to talk to you guys about is the water spots. So let me know in the comments below if you guys would be interested in a video where I tackle this, but I have honestly been considering it so much. I really worked on this bag with the conditioning, and I love the leather patina color. However, this bag really had some heavy water spotting over the years that had occurred. So I'm really wondering, guys, would you like if I tried a video, if I risk my bag for you guys, but try out some of my cleaning techniques to see if I can get some of these spots out, or kind of what would happen. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you'd be interested. I'm really trying to decide if I want to do that or not, but I think it could potentially be really helpful. But yeah, that's something I'm really curious about on this one. So let me know down there in the comments. But one of the differences I really want to share with you guys that I tend to lean towards the other one sometimes over this one, if you're trying to decide on size, is this front compartment mainly because I don't want to be like fumbling to get my items out. And this one, I feel like I have to dig just a smidgen more at times. If I'm carrying just that much more, like you saw, it has like literally just this pouch could change so much. So sometimes it's just one or two items that can change the whole functionality of the bag, but it might be what you need. So on this one, I love the size of it. I love that I can take it with me anywhere. If I had to pick one, I don't know, guys, I might end up just picking this one because I love the size of it. I love the fit. The other one is so similar though, and it allows that a little bit extra space that it makes it kind of that hard decision. But like I said, I don't want to be digging for those things in the front too much, and mine just barely slide in there. Honestly, for me, this was a game changer. Having a smaller sunglasses case made this one more functional opposed to the GM to where I could put my other sunglasses case, and it fit that much better. So side by side, what you have going on, as you can tell, like I was talking, let's see. As you can tell, that front part that I was talking about, this one, let's see if we can do a overhead for you. This one does have that extra room to expand as to where this one does not. And that also the extra height can really play a role in how you pack your bag. So a side-by-side comparison of these two, they are so similar. However, like I said, this one just has a little bit more space. So let me know in the comments below if you guys are considering one. Have you used Louis Vuitton, Cartouchiere, GM, MM, or even the mini? Honestly, like which one is your favorite size or the one you're eyeballing? I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I always love bringing you this content over on my channel. So if you enjoy luxury handbags, handbag review videos, all that good stuff, I would love for you to like and subscribe. I love getting to hear from you all as well. So make sure you leave a comment below and introduce yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.